Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Hello everyone, welcome to a Let's Play on Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. This is Kaepora. This is actually my first Let's Play for this, and this is one of my favorite games ever. I'm kind of a Zelda guy. I've always had Zelda in my life ever since I was born, so this is kind of a big deal for me. So, I'm sure a lot of you have already played or watched someone else play the game. It's pretty amazing. So, my intention here is just to play the game, have fun, and while I'm doing that, try and teach some people some stuff. Not just about the game itself, but Zelda in general. So, just for example, you just saw Link got woken up by a girl with a slightly British accent, and it's pretty traditional in Zelda games for Link to be woken up at the beginning of the game. It's not in every game, nothing's in every game, but in general, Link's kind of a sleepyhead. He tends to sleep in a lot. So for Skyward Sword, he got woken up by his bird, and in Ocarina of Time, he got woken up by his fairy. There are other examples, but in general, he's kind of known for that. So this is a pretty standard thing for him to do. Now, waking up in not very much clothing, that's new for him. This is all kind of the first time that a lot of this stuff has happened to Link. Also, I mean,
That is a Sheikah slate.
yes, thank you.
Take it.
Okay.
It will help guide you after
magic
your long
eye is
slumber.
talking to me now. I guess I should take it. So here I am, taking it. Not at all worried about the fact that I don't have any clothes on. More interested in the piece of technology that seems to be talking to me. Mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. You've never seen... yeah, okay. Try not to spoil anything for those of you that haven't played this before. Blue, mysterious, magical, and a slate that looks like a tablet. Kind of. It's a thing. Alright, let's get out of here. Find some damn clothes. Hey look, it's pants! This is the most important thing ever, is that Link has pants. So, we're gonna equip some pants. And they've got 1 point of armor, but it's a hell of a lot better than nothing. Okay. Chests, also very standard for Zelda World. That's pretty standard in adventures in general. The stone chests, not as common. You don't see that in very many games. Mostly they're wood or metal. The stone's kind of a new thing. Also, there's this. I can jump on stuff and climb on stuff. And I can't really pick that up. I can pick this up. Picking up stuff, not particularly new. Jumping and climbing on stuff, extremely new. That was kind of the big deal about this game. Oh no, this is glowing. I should go over to it and touch it.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal.
Who are you?
That will show you the way.
Will it? Will it show me the way? Guess I got nothing else to do. You see, not only did I get pants, but I got a belt and some like fanny pack kind of things. Rucksacks. Because, you know, normal pants back then didn't have pockets, so you had to have these little sacks attached to your belt all the time. Multiple belts, too. I don't know that they're actually holding anything up. That second one doesn't look, it looks like it's just kind of there. And then the strap around my chest. Oh my god, I'm the light.
That must shine upon Hyrule once again.
I don't know, that light coming into the cave seems to be kind of a light. I guess I'm going. Here we go. Look at me. Oh no, I can sprint. I can't sprint for long. And I can jump. Oh wait. Oh cool, I can jump whenever I'm climbing. Yes, some of this is very old school to me because I've been playing this before. I should have mentioned that. Just see this real quick. This is similar to the artwork on the cover of the game. And based on what I've seen from the creators, the whole point of this game was to show this world. It was to show Link versus this open world, which has never existed before. In Zelda's games, it's always been a pretty linear path with temples and items, and you unlock one thing and you get to go over this here and whatever, but it's never been this open before. It's never been this big. So this is your thing right here. This is why this game exists. Snap. Alright, so as I was saying, I've played this game before, multiple times. A lot, in fact. I played it all the way through. The first time before the DLC came out, and then once the DLC came out, I revisited it in Master Mode and got all the extra champion stuff. So I've played this game pretty thoroughly, but it's been a while since I picked it up, so I'm really excited to play again. And there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't remember or I didn't try out the first time. So this will be kind of interesting for me. I've got some new reference materials to both better understand the game and the lore in general, and to help you understand that, hopefully add a little bit of extra information that maybe you didn't know about, kind of pique your interest so that you can dive into it, because I certainly don't know everything there is to know about Zelda. There's always more. I'm learning stuff every day. There's all these extra games I didn't know existed, because they were like spin-offs or on a different console that doesn't exist anymore, and just a lot of stuff that is pretty great. So I'm going to try and take you through this as we go. So here we go. So this is a question mark. I'm supposed to take it. It's a tree branch. This is so you could get sticks before, Deku sticks. They were kind of an item. They were not a weapon. They were pretty much for one thing. You could light things on fire with them. In this game, you're pretty much also using this to light this on fire, but you can actually use it as a weapon. In fact, at the very earliest stages, where I am now, this is your weapon. This is your guy. The great thing about this, the new mechanic to combat in this particular Zelda is that your weapons break. Before you had a sword, you always got a sword, and you get different kinds of swords. You got the Master Sword eventually, or you got the Begoran Sword, or you got there was a white sword and the magical sword and whatever, depending on how far you want to go back. There were swords, but you always had a sword. And that was your weapon. You didn't lose that, ever. These break. This stick will probably last me one enemy. And then it's gone. If I hit it against something else... Uh-oh, she's talking to me again.
Link,
What do you want?
head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
What? There's a map? You are using words I do not understand. There we go. See, this is your map. This is your tablet. This is the technology of Hyrule. Kinda. But look, there's a point. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I'll get there when I get there. Mysterious voice that I don't understand. Anyway, so right. The other thing I could do is I can use this against stuff, and it'll break down too. See, look, it's the tree branch is badly damaged, and then bam, it's broken. That's it. It's gone. It dissolved into nothingness and then went into the next dimension. I don't know why that made a noise, or why that turned into a bunch of shards, but there it is. So you will be collecting tons of these weapons, and as you can see, I've only got 8 inventory slots for those. Which, if I had 8 different sticks, you know, that would be 8 different little monsters that I could beat. So you're going to get things that are much, much better, much more powerful, last a lot longer. But most importantly, I need to make this. See how there's all this extra space at the bottom? I need to fill that out. And that's going to be a fun but extremely long and tedious process. How can something be fun and tedious at the same time? Well, it's fun for a while, and then whenever you need to collect the next 600 of them, then it becomes problematic, but we'll get to that later. So anyway, you got your weapons, and they've got durability. Oh, look, there's a mushroom. Now, Boy Scouts would tell me, do not pick up a mushroom if you don't know what it is, because it might kill you. This one's okay. Hylian shroom. I can just eat it if I want, and it'll restore half a heart. I have 3 of those, if you can't tell. Right now. I'm going to get more of those eventually, but not for a while, because that's just how I play. Also, you can climb trees. So, if I get all the way to the top of this thing without falling off, which I may not do, there you go. Okay. Once you get to the top, you can rest. But if you were under, you know, if you're down here, if you're down here, and you run out of stamina, you're going to fall off. Of course, I can't really do that. Let me do this. Right here. Here we go. Come on, you're going to run out of stamina. There you go. See? You fell. So, there's a lot of climbing in this game, because a lot of cool stuff is not right at the ground level. So, you're going to need to climb. You're going to need stamina. You can get more of that, too. It's pretty great. Love stamina. Oh, look, my branch is back. Where did that come from? You'll notice that there's a gray arrow next to the tree branch word, and that means that it's the same power as the one that I have equipped now. So it doesn't always matter, because depending on your type of weapon, you may want something with less power, but it's a different type of weapon, so you can use it differently. So that's not as important. Also, if you've got slots, just keep picking them up. There's no reason to leave them. Look, there's another tree branch. In general, most of the stuff that you come across is going to be useful eventually. It may not be useful right away. I missed something. What did I miss? Oh, it was a climb thing. Okay, we're good. It may not be useful right away, but eventually it will be useful. There's a lot of stuff that needs things eventually. I'm just crouching. I don't think I can catch the squirrels or the birds. I could kill them for stuff, but I don't want to kill them if I don't have to. The lizard, however, him I can catch. And I need these lizards later for stuff. So I'm gonna sneak up on him and take him. Hightail lizard. Found throughout Hyrule. It's a bit slow to react. This is bullcrap. If you don't crouch down and, you know, get close to him, he will run away pretty fast. Yeah, so it says specifically that you can use it for a speed boost elixir, and that'll be important later on whenever we get into cooking and elixirs in general. But, so you see the icon on the bottom right, that purple wavy thing next to my mini-map? That's my sound. So the more sound the more, you know, louder I am, the more I'm running around, that's gonna make more waves. Hey, look, another stick. Got my another stick. If you crouch, it's quite a bit less, even if you're going full tilt. And then if you just barely go, it's even less. And we can make that smaller still later on in the game. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff we can do later on in the game that we don't have access to right now. So you don't need to be doing this if you don't want to. I like doing this at the beginning because once I get into a groove of a certain thing, going after a certain thing, you know, a quest or an item, I tend to get focused on that and not worry about it. So when I get the chance, it's good to just get these things because I'm going to need them eventually. Odds are good. These butterflies are kind of tricky because they move up and down, so it's a little harder to know when you're close to them. Summerwing butterfly. You can cook this one to make you feel warm and fuzzy. So that's a protection against cold. So the thing next to my noise meter is my temperature. And if it gets into that blue or orange range, then bad stuff happens to me. I die eventually, pretty fast. It's not. Depends on where you are. But anyway, got me some butterflies. Ooh, apples. Gonna take me some apples. I can just eat it or I can cook it. That's the first time they talked about cooking. Well, cooking like that anyway. There should be a third one. There it is. For these kinds of trees, there's usually a third apple. Sometimes you get trees that have like 6 or 10 apples on them. It's ridiculous, but you know what? That's not going to work. How about... Oh, shoot, I don't have anything yet. I'll just leave it for now. Hey, it's a guy. Hello, guy. Oh, oh. Well met, stranger. Da-da-da-da. I'll spare you my life story, because I don't have one. Oh wait, that's not true. This magnificent beard says that I have a fantastic life story, and I should share it with you eventually, but you're not ready for it. Dun dun dun. Yeah, see, you don't get that kind of beard living in the middle of nowhere. That's way too well groomed. Where are we? I don't know what's going on. Is it fair enough? Are you sure? Also, you're carrying a lantern on your stick and you're right next to a fire. Does that make sense to anyone else? This is the Great Plateau. As opposed to all the other plateaus that exist in this world, this is the great one. This is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. So Hyrule... Well, okay. The birthplace of Hyrule, if you want to go way back. The origin story is supposed to be Skyward Sword, when the island in the sky with the goddess Hylia's temple, statue, etc. fell to earth. And it was right next to a temple that had already existed. So that was kind of the main thing. But this is like way in the future, so who the hell knows? It was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. That's not bad for 100 years of decay, realistically speaking. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. Okay, what can you do for me of service? Ah, he's a funny one. Roasting them on a fire makes them tastier and more nutritious. So this is the hint at the game of, oh look, there's a baked apple, yay! So you can restore 3/4 of a heart if you eat this. I beg your pardon. You just told me you needed to make more. Can't just go about taking whatever you please. And he's just laughing it off. Yeah. Okay. He's I don't know. He hasn't talked to people in a long time. So, baked apple, 3/4 of a heart. If I go over to regular apple, it's half a heart. So the little icon in the top right-hand corner of it just means that you get hearts from it directly. So I could hold this, and I could return to the game, and you see there's this little thing showing me where I'm dropping it, so I drop it, and it gets close to the fire, and then it burns for a little while, and then boom, thing turns into baked apple. If you leave it there, some of them eventually will burn, and they'll turn to dust, so you don't have to do that. But in general, baking things makes them better. The problem here, if you want to call it a problem, is that you can't use the baked apple as an ingredient for other food, for more complex food, once you've baked it. So you don't necessarily need to go baking everything that you've got. Like, I could put all 9 of these mushrooms into the fire. I only need the 1 for now. You could do 5 at a time if you want to. You can hold 5 things at a time. Ba-doom! Toasty Hylian Shroom. The taste and fragrance are amplified, restoring more health to its consumer. Yep, okay. So that's fine if you want a quick one. If you don't know how to cook things, or you don't have a pot nearby, we'll get to that in a bit. There's one relatively close by. But, oh look, there's arrows. Or no, this is a torch. Yeah, I like torches. It can be ignited. It will stay lit. If you put it away, it'll be extinguished until you light it again. So, yeah, you can throw that. Just help yourself to that torch there. As a weapon to set things on fire. That is rather unnerving. Please be cautious. Like, I am Link. I set things on fire. No problem. No, what is it? It's, I can solve any problem by setting it on fire. Yes, dry grass. So dry grass is just grass. Unless you're actively, like, seeing rain. Unless rain is happening right in front of you, grass is dry grass. It's not like a different color or anything. Don't just swing it around without purpose. Face your opponents and lock your sights on them. Yeah, okay. Teaching me how to lock on the stuff. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But, so, you can do... See, it's in my weapons. It's a torch. And do this, and then... Oh, shit. Sorry. 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 He's not super happy. He's still okay. Never mind. I don't need to... So, if they don't have something special to say to you, even if you freak them out, they're not going to do anything. What am I... No. I know there's a way to do this. Yeah, see, I could swing it. There's another way to light it up. I think I just have to be away from him for it to work. So I can do this. There we go. B, and then if I do this... No, let me try this one more time. This, and then this. No? This? That's definitely not right. Huh. I'm gonna figure this out eventually. Anyway, so the torch is pretty great because fire, I mean the elements in this game are really cool. So look, I lit grass on fire. And it's kind of hanging out. There's a little bit of space between that and the next one, so it's not like it's gonna get too crazy. If I go over here and light this on fire, there's some grass in between, so it should jump to the next thing. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. So because I had a different kind of grass lit, it didn't want to go to the next one. I think this should keep going though. There we go. Gets a little bit bigger, gets a little bit bigger. If there's more wind, it'll last longer, and it'll go further. But there's not a whole bunch of wind right now. Okay, back here. Excitement. There's an axe. It's the woodcutter's axe, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But it's great for trees. and it's your first two-handed weapon. So, like I was saying before, there's different kinds of weapons. So this is you got two hands to use it, obviously. If I had a shield, I wouldn't be able to use the shield and the axe at the same time. But you saw, so with a one-handed weapon, I can do this charge attack. And it's basically like a spin. Like your standard Link Zelda spin. And, you know, it's ever since he's had a sword, he's had a spin. Well, that's not quite true. Anyway, your two-handed weapons, however, charge and they keep moving. And then at the end of it, they do this smash thing, which brings all the apples to the yard. There we go. And there should be, there's not a third one. There's a third one. So I'm going to chop this down. And then I hit it one more time, and it turns into wood. And you're like, okay, Larry, this is dumb. Actually, you're not going to say that, because you probably don't know what... Anyway. So, wood's important for a quest later. It's also kind of handy because you can make a campfire anywhere you want. Campfires are great because you can... Well, I guess I can't yet. Eventually you can rest. I think whenever you're on the plateau, it's kind of locked in. Yeah, I don't have a time. There's no time of day thing on my HUD, so you can't rest until after you get off the plateau. Anyway, so two-handed weapons, pretty cool for a lot of different things. They are not for everything. Most of the time, you're going to hold on to them for special things, special battles. Alright, another thing that's kind of cool. This is part of that tedious thing that I was talking about. This is a ring of lilies. And you're like, what's going on here? Hey, it's a Korok. You may remember these guys because they're almost identical to the ones in the Wind Waker game. There was only a handful of Koroks, and you had to go to all the different islands in order to help their saplings grow, so they could spread the Deku seed sapling stuff. And they'd give you a heart piece, I think? I think they gave you a heart piece. These guys just kind of hide everywhere in all sorts of different ways. And they have they have borrowed Hetsu's seeds. So yeah, if you run into Hetsu, please return this to him. It's a Korok seed. It's a little golden seed given to you by a Korok. It has a very distinct smell. I don't know what that means. Knowing what I know about the end of this, that takes on a little bit different meaning, but you never know what may happen. So these are really important, especially early on in the game. So anytime you see something weird, this is just another impetus to go out into the world and find weird stuff and investigate it to the best of your abilities. They're hiding in lots of different places. Yeah, so you poke your nose in everywhere. That's the whole point of this game, is to explore everything. So I'm in the water, so this is different, right? If I kept going in the water for too long, I would die. I would drown. I wouldn't die. I would end up on the shore where I came out into the water with one less heart. And if I didn't have a heart, then I would die. And we're going to learn about death here in a second. But in the water, there's all sorts of things. You can't, like, dive, really. You've got a little bit of up and down based on how you enter it. You can't really do any of that. You can dash, and you can catch fish, just like I caught the lizard. And you want these too. These are important for stuff. So just another miscellaneous collectible that you absolutely have to have eventually if you want to do everything. And I'm going to try and do everything because I want to do everything in this game as much as possible. I really enjoy this game, and I spent a ton of time on it the first time. Alright, so there's something interesting that I want to go look at. So you go over here, And hopefully you have enough stamina to both get out of the water and climb. And then you wait. And then you climb again. Early on, stamina is kind of a problem, but it gets better. Hey look, there's a sword and a stone. Left here by the ancient temple peoples of, I don't know, something. It's a rusty broadsword. So this has quite a bit more damage. I say quite a bit. It's got 6 instead of 3, which is what your axe had. But it's seen better days. So it doesn't have basically any durability, and really that looks suspicious too, but we can't do anything with it yet. So we're gonna go this way, and hopefully I don't die. And I like to dash because I'm kind of impatient about this stuff. If I've got a 90% chance that I'm not gonna die on the way, I'm gonna keep going. Keep going at full throttle. Oh no, see that? That's our guy. That's our first guy. He's over there. He's just hanging out. He's doing nothing. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I'm gonna go over here first. Oh no, there's one over here too. Wait, is that a thing? Maybe. I think it's moving. What is that? Oh no, that's a bokoblin. What is he doing? So obviously I'm sneaking up. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's way on the ground. He's not sleeping. So this is important. Sneak strike. Bam! Death. Sneak strike. When you sneak up on an enemy and they don't know you're there. You can't do it too terribly often, just because most of the time you're not going to be able to sneak into a group of enemies and take them all out with that. But it does 8 times the damage of your base damage. So this was, your base damage is 2 on these branches, which means it did 16 points of damage. And let me check my bestiary right here, if I can find it. I should have all this just hanging out. There's not a ton of different kinds of monsters in the world, but there's a bunch of different variants of them. Alright, so a bokoblin, a standard red bokoblin has 13 HP. And it's found in a handful of different places. But basically, so it takes 13 HP. I was doing 2, and then the sneak strike busted it up into 16. So if I can sneak strike that guy, then I can hit him, I can kill him in one hit. If I, on the other hand, were to fight him normally, I'd have to hit him 7 times in order to kill him. So it's kind of a problem, especially since the branch tends to break after like 3 hits, something like that. They don't have a ton of range for visuals, so that's not, he's not going to see me over here. Oh, it's a choo. A choo-choo, sorry. So obviously, it's too late to sneak strike this guy. But what I can do, oh shit, wrong button. No. You don't want to be doing that. That's not the end of the world, but you don't want to be doing that. Okay. So what I can do, since this is badly damaged, I can throw this thing. So when you throw a weapon and you hit an enemy, you get a critical hit, which is 2 times. And then if you also get the weapon was about to break anyway, if I had hit him with a regular attack and it had broke, it would be 2 times the damage whenever it broke. So it doesn't really stack whenever you throw something that's ready to break, but in general, since it was going to break anyway, it's a good way to do it. So choo-choos, I call them choos. You can call them whatever you want. Choos have 3 HP. So because I threw it, it was 2 times the 2, so it was 4 points of damage. So a standard choo has only 3 HP. Oh, sorry, a standard small chew. So that was the small version. They come in medium and large, and the mediums and larges tend to break up quite a bit differently. So we'll get to that later. These are all, you know, these are purposefully small, relatively weak monsters. It was cool. The one of the designers, the monster designers, the leads, had a comment in one of these books about they made a conscious effort to make all of the monsters kind of cute instead of superimposing like you might see in a Souls game or something like that. They're not really designed to scare you or to freak you out. They're designed to be, you know, monsters that you would otherwise, if they weren't trying to kill you, you might, you know, want to hang out with or learn more about. And that's true in general of Zelda games. I think Twilight was definitely the darkest of them, and it was not particularly dark. It was beautiful, but it wasn't, it's not like it was trying to scare you or anything. Alright, so this guy, I can only kill him in one hit if I sneak strike him. And he's kind of in a position, and he's walking around, and he's turning, and I don't know that I'm going to get there. I can try and sneak up over here. Try and get behind him without him noticing. The last one wasn't moving at all. I don't know what he was doing. I'm pretty sure he wasn't sleeping, but I don't know what he was doing. This guy is actively moving around a little bit. There we go. Hey look, and he gave me a club, which is so much better than this stick. But it's essentially a stick, so it doesn't last too terribly long. And I got these horns, so I didn't talk about those before. But that was something new. Every monster that you beat will drop something. The chews drop those, where are they? There we go. So the chews drop the little choo-choo jellies. These are kind of cool. They have got, choo-choo jellies have kind of a special thing you can do with them. But in general, you know, every monster is going to drop something. Sometimes they drop 2 or 3 different things. And sometimes they drop a lot of them, depending on how, it's kind of a rare, random thing. But like the chews always drop chew jelly. The bokoblins can drop horns and fangs. And we'll get to the other ones later. But basically, these are important. Just like these are important because you'll need them for later. Some of these have different, like, direct usage. Choo-choos are kind of a special creature because they're basically an element, a living element. Something else. This looks kind of suspicious. Oh, it's an ancient gear. So out of this whole statue thing, I found 1 gear. So it's the pictures of 2 gears, but yeah. Anyway, its build quality is leaps and bounds above anything built using Korok technology. Yeah, sure. We know so much of this world already that we can compare it to the ancient world. No, we don't know anything about this world. So, in general, this game is all about exploration. You might find nothing. There might be entire swaths of areas. Come on. Okay, this is what they want me to do. Yeah, I don't care. You might find entire swaths of areas that have nothing in them, or it might be jam-packed with all sorts of crazy stuff. But the point is that you look for them, or you look through everything. You just eat it all up. Just eat up every part of this game because it is very well put together, and you will, even if there's nothing there, you'll enjoy it. I mean, look, there's nothing really here, and just look how pretty that is. How much potential this area has. Okay, so they want me to go towards this little yellow dot. So that's where we're going. You look, oh look, here's a thing that's pointing out of the ground. Ooh, what was this? What was this? 100 years ago, back before the zombies happened, or whatever the backstory is that I don't know about yet, that the old man was alluding to. I don't know what's going on. Oh no, it's a new plant. The Hyrule herb. Or herb, depending on who you're talking to. Cook it before eating it to increase the number of hearts. This is another one you can cook if you want to. I don't know that I've ever eaten the herb directly. I got a tree branch. Oh, see, I can't get any more melee weapons. So, now that I'm full, it's important that I go over and I look at what I've got and I say, you know, I don't really need this one. I'd rather have this one. You will obviously have more than just tree branches eventually. Oh, also you can sort, which is important. So you can sort by, let's see, there's kind of like a grouping of type of weapon, and then there's like a general, I want to say, it's type and then it's power, and then there's like a usefulness kind of one. I don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. I usually just click it a couple times so I can get everything sorted. It affects how this is lined up, and I usually like to see my torch at the back of the singles, but it doesn't really matter. Whenever you hit this, this is the D-pad, right on the D-pad, it pauses the game outside of this menu, so you're not, you know, you're not going to get attacked or whatever if you're just sitting here forever. See, to hear that music, that means that somebody's trying to attack me. Somebody has targeted me, and they got bored. These chews don't really care. This one does. He's coming right for me. Oh, no, see, now he's off. Now he's coming for me. Now they're jumping. Yeah, okay. So, as you know, in order to kill this guy with one hit, I need to throw something at him. That worked. That worked so well. Not everything throws the same way. Sometimes you're like, hey man, let me just try and kill this guy the old-fashioned way. 1, 2. See? Just like that. But now it's badly damaged, so I did get 2 chew jellies off of that guy. Or no, did I get 1 off of each of them? Either way, I got 2. Oh, look, there's this precarious kind of sphere-shaped boulder. What am I gonna... Oh no, there's something underneath here. What could I possibly do that might be entertaining and help me out? Look at this guy. He's talking to the other one. He's just chatty. And the other one's just like, dude, I don't care. Leave me alone. I've never liked you. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to try and ruin their day. Huh. That does not usually work that easily. Most of the time, whenever I roll something down a hill, nothing happens. It just alerts them to my presence. But I got a club, and I got a horn, and I got another club, which I probably won't be able to pick up. There you go. I can get rid of my stick. Some sort of stick. And another horn. Yay! A couple of horns. Fantastic. But yeah, environmental advantage. Always a good thing. Like I could have rolled this log down on them. If I didn't have a log, I could have chopped down a tree and then rolled it. I need to not. It's a little bit harder to roll logs than rocks. Because you tend to jump up on them. It's like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I could have rolled a log onto them. I used the rock. There's another rock up here. They really want you to use this rock. They really want you to hit somebody with a rock right away. Even though I can't seem to get... I'd have to go this way. Is this going to go... I don't know that I could have failed that one. That might have been generated specifically so I couldn't miss it. If a lot of these rocks are not. I mean, they can go in every direction, and what they're pointing towards doesn't always run smooth or flat, and they tend to get a little bit crazy. So they're not the most reliable way to take out a camp or a bunch of monsters, but they're all right. So this, look, I got a clan, I got a camp, I got 2 bokoblins, standard bokoblins. I've got this ominous looking boulder at the top. I've also got these interesting looking death barrels, red death barrels, and anyone who's ever played a game ever that has anything to do with something exploding knows that big red barrels tend to blow up whenever something happens to them. So barrels, boxes, anything with a big red X on them or something like that is just great for that. So you see, I can put this boulder down into that canyon and it'll blow up those things, I assume. I know it will, but sometimes it doesn't. Maybe it jumps over them and nothing happens. But the blast has to reach that second barrel in order for it to affect them, and then it may not actually kill them. But I'm going to do it anyway because it's exciting. So here we go. Gonna push after I get out of sneak mode, because apparently you can't sneak and push at the same time. Explosion number 1. Oh, it did take them both out. Cool. Look at that. So simple. So easy. Haha, yes, I got a fang. So you can see, judging by the, half a dozen guys that I've taken out so far, the fangs seem to be a little bit rarer of a drop than the horns do. And then I've got this, another bokoblin, or boko club, which I can't use. I'm slowly getting rid of all my branches. Ooh, and I've got some meat. Look at that. A seared steak. So this is raw meat that's been cooked already. And I get a heart and a half. So that's half of my heart steak so far. Half of all of the hearts that I have access to. Which is good for now. It's fine for now. Oh look, my stick caught on fire. So that's a thing that can happen. I can put it out just like a torch. But if you've got something wooden on and you're next to a fire, or run through fire or lava or something like that, it will catch fire. Oh look, I'm hot too. I'm too hot. See, my temperature is going up and I'm burning. Eventually I'll lose life. But I can light it on fire, and then I can use this to light other stuff on fire. Maybe not that guy, but this guy for sure should be able to light on fire. Then I put it out. So you can do that. You can light stuff on fire, and butterfly. Must catch butterfly. Jumping, for some reason, when you're in sneak mode, doesn't actually make you any louder. So it's a good way to cover lots of ground while you're sneaking. Kind of a dash move, without actually making yourself any louder. Okay, so here's this guy, and he's up on this hill. And nope, there's two of them. There's two guys. They're up on this hill, but they're kind of looking the other way. There's no, obvious boulders, so I can't just take them out with a boulder. And there's two of them, so I'm going to have to fight one of them eventually, which is fine. I could do that. I have the technology. I got this big old stick. But you notice they both have bows, which is really handy, because I need a bow. I don't have any bows right now. I wonder if I can take them both out with sneak strikes. Why did I do that? That was stupid. I'm still in other game mode. Oh, see, he found me. Hey, look, I got a bow. So it's 4 points of damage, which is pretty good. They're not super durable, because, these guys made them. They're basically goblins. It's just tying a string to either end, so don't expect much in the way of combat effectiveness. Right now, it's good. It's good. So it's a special button. You can always have access to it. It's just like your smack, 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 smack. See, this guy he's got a bow, so it takes him forever to do stuff whenever you're right on top of him. And if he's all alone, it's kind of sad sometimes. I'm sure this one was set on easy mode for this guy. But you get horns and you get arrows, which are great, because you need arrows. You need tons of arrows. Tons of arrows. And there's different kinds, too. So, you got your bows. But whenever I get new arrows, they'll show up, too. So there's different kinds of arrows. And anyone that's played Zelda games, you're probably used to the, you got your fire arrow, you got your ice arrow, you've got your, well, lightning, light, electricity arrow, shock arrows. In this game, they're called shock arrows. In the wonderful Link's Awakening game, and several others that had the same kind of style format, you can make bomb arrows by shooting an arrow and laying a bomb at the same time. This game simplifies it by just giving you bomb arrows, which are just amazing. But we'll get to that later. Ooh, see? Okay, this guy has a sword. I think he's got a sword. And he's got a shield. I don't have a shield yet. I need a shield. So if I wanted to, I could take this, shoot him in the face. So you see that? Because I hit him in the critical point, basically his head, it does 2 times damage. And I was doing arrow. It is a sword. Cool. A Boko shield. A bokoblin-made shield created by attaching a hand hold to any flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's pretty shoddy. Everything they make seems to be pretty shoddy. And then eventually they get really cool stuff, so, but everything gets really cool stuff. And then look at this, a traveler's sword. It's a very common sword kept by travelers to fend off small beasts, so like varmints. How this guy got, I don't know. So I didn't have any room, so I gotta go and drop something. Usually you get a feel for this. Eventually you won't be picking things up nearly as much because everything, well, at some point you're, oh shoot, that's a frog, I need those. Frog! Hot-footed frog! You can cook it with monster parts to draw at its speed boost effect. So we saw that the lizard had a speed boost effect too. So you can do either one of these. Pretty sure you can't do different types at the same time, but we'll test that out later. So look, I got a shield, I got a sword, I got a bow, I got some frogs that are just hopping. So these animals are kind of location specific. They're also animals that are weather specific. So frogs in general tend to come out more whenever it's raining anyway. So if you're not in an area, or you're in an area that has ponds and like it should have frogs, but you're not seeing any, and you just wait until it rains, sometimes they pop out and they're there all the time. And then there are like night and day animals that only show up during certain times of the day. Alright, we are pretty close to this this yellow blip on our radar. Oh yeah, drop that. This looks ominous. What am I going to do here? Hey, I know what that thing is. It's glowing! Place the Sheikah slate in the... Who's talking to me right now? Is this the... Yeah, he's like, I'm a little confused, but... I just woke up. Who knows how long I've been in there, and you gave me this tablet thing. Oh, I'm surprised. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. And he falls down. This is the hero of this world. Oh no, squirrels! Run away! Birds! Fly, fly, fly! Ah, there it is. Just so cool. So now you're seeing there are other places in this world that have these things, and they're all rising up at the same time. It's like magic or something like that. I want to say in the early stages of the trailers for this game, you had to actually find those. They weren't out of the ground. I could be wrong, but I feel like early on they weren't always up whenever you had to look for them. They were all on the ground like this one was. But obviously this is so much better because you can see them from a long ways away. That is super helpful. So you can see one in the background right now. It's all red and stuff. Back against the the background of the world, unless it's like the volcano where everything's on fire, you could see these and the shrines super easy. So if you're paying attention at all and it's not super hidden, some of these are pretty hidden. So yeah, you've got the regional map. So you notice there's a pretty significant line around what you're seeing. Those are all individual areas of the map, and each one of those is connected to a tower. So once you unlock the tower, you unlock this map, which is super helpful for a lot of different reasons. So you can see that blue dot in the middle, that's where I woke up. That's the Shrine of Resurrection. And then just to the right of that little water, that's the pond that I jumped in and got the Korok seed. And then just to the right of that, that's that temple that they said is 100 years old and no one's used it in that long. So it's super helpful. You can do all sorts of things with these maps, but you can't see them until you activate the tower. So towers are super important early on in the game. But now Link's like, you know what? I'm like 100 feet up. I don't know what I'm gonna do. How am I gonna get down? Oh no, Disney's calling out to me.
You have been asleep for the past
Oh,
100
geez.
years.
This British person is filling me in on things.
When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end.
The beast that wasn't there a few seconds ago. So I kind of feel like it's my fault that he's awake. Maybe. Kind of freaking me out. And yet, if he wasn't so evil, I might want to hang out with him a little bit. He's kind of...
You must hurry, Link.
Yeah. Ignore her.
Before it's too late.
Before it's too late. Follow the Sheikah Slate. Complete. Dun dun dun. You get no experience. There's no experience in this game. Okay, so yeah, how are we gonna get down? We are really freaking high up. Guess I'm hoofing it. So I can jump down. Nope, I can jump off. That's right. I can't jump down. I can jump off. Can't jump down. And then I can let go, which is always kind of disheartening. So this is the only time you really have to do this, and it's not that bad. After this, it gets super easy to go down. Going up is not always easy, but going down is usually pretty easy. Oh no, I got to the bottom and someone's yelling at me. Could it be the one extra person that exists in this world? How the hell did he do that? Where did you pull that stick up? Quite the enigma. They've erupted across the land, one after another. It's almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. Yeah, okay. Did anything odd occur? Yeah, I heard a voice. I was also talking to the freaking tower for a little while, and my tablet glowed and set things on, you know, turned things on, and there were other weird things that happened. The voice was not the first time. I don't recognize the voice. I think she was British. Does that help? The atrocity enshrouding the castle. Yep, little hard to miss. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin, and for some reason they like to color certain words. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. Lives that we'll never know about, because we're not going to talk about it. The very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. Festers, that's such a great word. Yes, it would seem that that's fast approaching. Fast is a relative term. Fast is, you know, it used to be it was 100 years and nothing happened. So fast might be like 20 years from now that something will happen. Do you intend to make your way to the castle? Yeah, I got nothing else to do right now. That's kind of my thing. What I don't know what's going on here. Here on the isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. No death could be more certain or more foolish. I'm gonna take that as a challenge. If you had a paraglider, that would be quite another story. Yes. What do you want, old man? I will give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. A bit of treasure. This is a man who lives on a plateau that is apparently impossible to get off of or onto without a paraglider. Of course, the paraglider is not going to help you get onto the plateau. It'll only help you get off. So, if he wanted to get off, he would have already done it. He's not coming back. How he got up here in the first place, no one knows. But he's going to give me that in order for some treasure that he can't really... I mean, if it's treasure, he can't use it. It's like, here's 1,000 rupees. And I'm like, okay, but where are you going to spend it? Nowhere? There's no towns. There's no people. You're going to trade it with the squirrels? They don't usually take man-made currency. I've tried.
Ooh.
Yes, it's pretty obvious. It's not subtle. I see it. I get it. Yes. Yes, I would assume there's some sort of treasure. Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Okay. So. I'm not super interested in taking out that camp right now. I'm gonna get some stuff here shortly that will help out with that. So I'm just gonna go. This is a pretty good spot to talk about the... This is not the Master Quest. This is the standard game. Ancient Spring! It's another piece of technology that blah blah blah. Never loses tension. That's kind of cool. So if I was in the Master Quest right now, there would be at least 2 floating platforms with bokoblins on them. Black bokoblins. Or at least blue bokoblins. And half a dozen people, monsters scattered around this spot. Because I'm playing the standard one, there are not nearly as many crazy people up here. And it's super noticeable. See, this one, I can't... Give me your treasure, wherever you are. Sometimes they don't have anything, but it's pretty rare if they don't. I guess this one doesn't. Okay. Anyway. What I got off of that, the Ancient Spring and the gears, those are going to be important for something else later on. Everything you collect here is going to be important for something else later on. But the other way to get them is to find the ones that move. Oh, look, there's one up here. I'm going to get that one. And we don't necessarily want to be doing that right away. So if you want the upgrades, you have to do some scavenging early on. It's just another one of those things. If you find something, just take it. It's yours. This world belongs to Link. Except for the ones that don't. There are certain areas where it's frowned upon to blatantly steal from people. Shocking. I know. Oh look, it's an X thing. This is one of those that they put in like the first DLCs, and it's kind of worthless. This whole package was kind of worthless. All right, our first shrine. We're gonna put our slate up there because that's what we do. We just knew how to do that. We didn't have to have a voice tell us to do it. We're like, okay, yeah, let's just do this. This is old news to me by now. Haha, travel point. Those are awesome. And I'm gonna skip that because it just opens up and then I go inside. So the blue pads that are on the shrines and the towers and a half a dozen special spots like the Shrine of Resurrection, those are all fast travel points. This world is big and it's beautiful and it's got a whole bunch of crazy secrets, and you do not want to be walking from one place to another all the time. You will for a lot of it, but once you unlock fast travel, you're going to be using it. Magnesis. So look, there's these ominous black plates on the ground. I don't know, am I going to do something with those? Oh, they got like standard screws on them for some reason. And then this thing that obviously needs to be interacted with. This is not like rocket science. You don't need to do any complex mathematical equations in order to figure out what to do here. Distilling the stone. Am I going to get another map? Because that would be kind of stupid. Oh wait, this is different. It's a superpower. It is a superpower. It's pretty awesome. So this is a rune. You get 6, 7, 8 of these. And they've got a special button. And you can change them by, by doing up on your D-pad once you get more than one. Anyway, magnesis means that you can take anything within range that's made of metal and move it around. And it's pretty handy. I mean, there's 1,001 uses for this thing. Most of the time, you're going to be moving stuff in order to get access to other stuff, or you're going to be knocking stuff around. But it's really cool. It's handy. The other thing that it does is it highlights everything kind of funny, so you can see things relatively easily. So there's these pink iron metal plates that we were talking about before. Those show up really easily. If there is a metal crate or chest underwater, it shows up really easily. So it's just kind of a handy thing to have. Even if you're not going to be using it, you can see the world a little bit differently. So I can do this. I can pull. And I can get access. So I can get access to the this spot. I can also use this to push stuff. And if I'm within range, so that's the bad guy over there. I'm not quite within range, am I? Oh, yep, there we go. Cool. Just smack him. Smack him with stuff. And I got ancient screws, which are really cool. They're like all the other ancient ones, but you need a ton of them for certain things. So you might be asking me, hey, why are you not climbing on stuff? And the answer is because a lot of this shrine stuff, so these walls in particular, the black walls, anything that's super polished like this, you can't climb. There are only a handful of things that you can't climb in this game, and they're almost always in the shrines. You can pop up on top of them if they're within this 1 block distance, but you can't climb them. So you gotta use different things to get access around these. Alright, so look, there's pink over there, pink over here, pink over here, lots of pink. Infinite possibilities. Oh, how am I gonna get over here? Well, you're gonna take this one pink thing, and you're gonna move it over here. And then you're gonna push it a little bit forward and back and side to side, and then bam. Then you got another walk platform. And then you're gonna pick this up, it's just in range, and you're gonna bring it down right in front of you. You can open it up. Traveler's Bow. It's a little bit better than the Boko Bowl that we've got. The other thing, let's see if it shows it. Okay, so you see that this is we got the shrine icon. The coloring, because it's orange, it means that we've activated it, but we haven't finished it yet. There's a little chest to the right of the name, Oman Owl Shrine. That means that we found its primary treasure. It's not linked to all the treasure. You could have like 15 or 20 different treasure chests in a shrine if, you know, some of them are ridiculous. But the important thing, whatever they wanted to give you, is that. So, if you're not seeing that, that means that you missed something. Opening, opening, opening. Ah, and here's our monk. This is our first guy. Can you imagine a life where you would dedicate thousands of years of meditation to some purpose? I have trouble picturing it. I am Omonao, the creator of this trial. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. Blessed with the sight of goddess Hylia. Yeah. Can you imagine that conversation? Hey guy, so we're gonna have a problem 10,000 years from now. I need you to sit in this temple thing and meditate, kind of like in a pretty much dead state for 10,000 years until somebody shows up. And then in that time, make like a room with a puzzle that they can like overcome in order to prove that they're worthy of this spirit orb thing that I'm giving you. And then you're done, right? And then you're done. That's your whole life. This guy is gone now. He is hopefully in a better place. The afterlife in Zelda is not particularly well specified. There's not anything that says specifically what happens in the when you meet the goddess or when you ascend to the plane of the gods and the goddesses, or if that's even what's happening. There are ghosts throughout Zelda for a lot of different reasons. There are ghosts, and there are, like this guy who have lived for a really long time, but they haven't really been alive. I don't want to call them zombies, but they're monks. They're this is the old man. Yeah, I got a. How did you know that? How do you know what they called it? Clairvoyance. Yeah. It's all connected to that Sheikah slate. How do you know what this is called? Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. And then we told them to stop it! Yeah, based on the lore in this one particular, in this game's lore in particular, the Sheikah were like super powerful, crazy, awesome beings. Not Hylians. They are a different species of person, which is a little confusing because they look just like regular people. But anyway, super advanced technology, 10,000 years ago, and then the rulers, the king, basically said, stop it, for some reason. Like, either you're getting too powerful, or you're freaking me out, or something, but you gotta tone it down, guys, because this is not cool. And most of them were cool with it, some of them were not. So we're gonna be seeing some more of that eventually. There are still 3 more on this plateau. Bring me the treasure from each of those, and I will give you my paraglider. I have changed the arrangement. No. He says, oh shoot, what does he say? I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. Look at Link. He's holding his belt buckle, like he's just ready to get on that horse and ride around town, hoot and holler, and take his hat, his cowboy hat. Yeah, high point. I'm on it. I know how to do it, man. I've seen that. I've seen that trick. Yes, okay. Yeah, see, this is where they teach you about fast travel. It's kind of important. I know there are people that, like, don't like fast travel. You know, it kind of cheapens the experience, but I have lived in a world without fast travel, and that was called Red Dead Redemption 2, and I just can't stand that long of a game with no fast travel. Quite some time ago. I don't know if such a thing actually works. Well, let's try it out. Because I guess he wants me to go up to the freaking tower. And I turn into energy. A bunch of different kinds of energy. Okay, so items on the right. I got my hearts, I got my stamina wheel, I got my, the thing I just picked up. The, he's already here. This is craziness. Yeah, yeah. Look at that nose. He's just got such an amazing nose. Did you know about the scope? Yeah, I accidentally pulled it out whenever I was trying to fight some choo-choos earlier. You can stick a pin anywhere you like on the map. I did that too, again, by accident. I should have gotten rid of it, but I forgot about it. Experience, wisdom, instinct? Call it what you will, and believe it only if you so please. That is a way of saying, no, I don't care. Alright, alright. So, right. Let me get rid of... Where did I put that? Over here. Delete my pin, because I don't need it. Look how big this thing is. Look at how big this map is. I mean, it took us all freaking time to get from here to here, and then, oh look, this is that seed. This is important, because you will forget. You will forget where you got those seeds from. There are a ton of them. There are 999 of those things in this game, so you will forget. You can only see it whenever you're super zoomed in. There's a couple of other things that you can only see whenever you're super zoomed in, but anyway, okay, so slate. Oh look, there's a shrine. Marked. And there's one over here. Where'd it go? Come on. It's easier to start zoomed out. Ah, there it is. I just didn't go far enough. There's one over here. Marked. And then there's one way over here. Marked. Okay. So. Ta-da! That's her thing. So I think this is probably a good place to stop for this one. I'll pick it up a little bit later. But basically we got our first rune, our first shrine, our first tower, our first Korok seed. Introduced several of the mechanics, the basics. This old man, whose name is just Old Man for now. And you can see just how pretty everything is. Volcano. There's always a volcano. It's always called Death Mountain. It's just such an appealing name. Alright, anyway, that's it for me for now. So, thanks, and I'll have number 2 up in a bit.